Hi guys, it's Gerald Pauschmann here. You know, the more you take responsibility for every single aspect of your life, the more every part of your life will improve. Every decision you make creates a blueprint of the sort of person you are. I've got some questions for you. Do you turn up late for meetings, work, or even appointments? Why is that? Now that's not rhetorical. Are you that disrespectful that you think that the world revolves around you? I'm sure that you have the best excuses in the world, like, hey Gerald, I was on the phone to an important client. I was on my way there and then man, you should have seen the traffic. My colostomy bag broke. Whatever the excuse, I've heard them all. You actually show a level of arrogance. And the thing is, everyone around you knows how disrespectful you are and talks about you behind your back. Or even worse, they tell me. Is it because that you have a title or position that says more responsibility, bigger status, higher pay packet? Now these reasons don't make you more important than me. Just rude. Now on the flip side, again not rhetorical, why, as a staff member, don't you do as you've been asked to do by your supervisor or manager? Is it because that's not how I roll? It's not in my job description, or simply because nobody can tell you what to do because you are better than that? You see, if you blame all your problems and failures, no matter how big or small, on other people, or you think the world owes you something because you've done it tough for a while, well, it's time to take a good look in the mirror and see where the problem is. I think it's time to learn above the line behavior, ownership, accountability, and responsibility. And it's not just a mindset, it's also a skill set that everyone can learn. You see, when you're personally accountable, you stop assigning blame, shooting on people, and saying things like, I was gonna do that. Instead, you take the fall when your immature choices causes problems. So how do you develop above the line behavior? Well, here's a start. Tell the truth. I know we all stuff up, and lying about it or trying to cover it up always makes it worse, no exceptions. I don't know about where you are, but here in Australia we have ex-Olympic swimmers who trash hotel rooms and beat up their girlfriends, footballers from all codes who, where should I start? Drugs, alcohol, sex. And then we also have company directors, all who will front the media days later with their pathetic attempts to say, I'm sorry, and apologise with their well-coached and scripted responses. Save yourself some time. Nobody believes you, not even you. Here's the deal. When you've landed yourself in hot water, look in the mirror and stop the pity party. Okay, let's take a breather. I've had my rant and it's time for me to get off my soapbox. I suppose the question is what can cause a seemingly honest person to lack ownership, accountability, and responsibility? I'm sure that we've all been in contact with a person or ourselves that have had issues with accountability. So why do we behave this way? Well, firstly, there are some people who may have been raised in a very chaotic environment where they were constantly put down, yelled at, or even emotionally abused. There are some who grew up in an underprivileged environment and grew up with feelings of inferiority or were raised by parents who carried feelings of inferiority. And then there are some who didn't receive much attention, positive reinforcement, or recognition growing up. We know these conditions can cause a lack of confidence in their own abilities along with feelings of low self-esteem. Secondly, some people develop a sense of entitlement and arrogance, and there are several reasons as to why they behave this way. It could have been inherited, and they may never have learnt the art of humility. You know, the quality of being humble and not believing that you are superior to others. For me, humility is about maintaining our pride about who we are, our achievements, about our worth, without arrogance. Others are so overconfident that they become completely self-centered and see themselves as flawless and incapable of making mistakes. And then there are those who are so insecure that their arrogance is a way of compensating for their insecurities. They feel that they must act superior or arrogant to others. Finally, there will be some people who are victims of racial discrimination, intolerance, or narrow-mindedness, and are always on guard or on edge. These people feel unable to get the recognition that they deserve and feel that others will stand in the way of their progress. We know this triggers feelings of insecurities that results in their inability to accept responsibility for their actions. But the problem is they refuse to accept any responsibility for any of their actions. I don't know about you, but I think personal accountability is urgently needed in business and across society as a whole. So what are we waiting for? You see, you're adults now, and if you have children, teach them how to be young adults. That's your job. Thanks for listening.